The 2002 World Cup was deeply emotional and action-packed, but at the same time incredibly controversial. Fans were mesmerized by the beauty of Brazil's iconic attacking trio, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho and Rivaldo, and were surprised by the unexpected success of Turkey, Senegal and South Korea. Yet, for many the tournament was tainted by scandalous refereeing decisions in several high-profile matches. Most notably, the shocking elimination of Italy's Squadra Azzurra, a team with a golden generation and serious ambitions for the trophy. In their round of 16 clash, Giovanni Trapattoni's men fell victim to a series of questionable calls by Ecuadorian referee Byron Moreno, a figure who would become notorious among football fans worldwide. For Italy, such adversity was nothing new. Almost every major tournament has tasted their resolve, but the expectations always remain sky high. At the 2002 World Cup, they came with one mission: to win the gold. And with players like Francesco Totti, Alessandro Del Piero, Cristian Vieri, Filippo Inzaghi, all in their prime, the squad had every reason to believe. The defensive line was no less impressive. Fabio Cannavaro and Alessandro Nesta formed one of the strongest center-back pairings in the world, while the legendary Paolo Maldini led the team, and Gianluigi Buffon had just become a most expensive goalkeeper in football history. However, despite their star-studded squad, Italy ran into trouble as early as the group stage. After a solid win over Ecuador, the Azzurri surprisingly lost to Croatia, a defeat that nearly cost them a place in the knockout rounds. Fortunately for the Italians, Croatia lost the final group match, while Trapattoni's side secured a draw against Mexico and finished second in the group. And although the results didn't seem impressive on paper, several of the goals were controversially disallowed, still few doubted that the team would improve as the tournament progressed. The upcoming opponent, South Korea, and they seemed like the perfect chance to get back on track. To be fair, the South Koreans had already surprised everyone by topping a group with Portugal, Poland and the United States. But the success was largely viewed as temporary. Gus Hiddink had built a well-organized side full of discipline, desire and relentless effort. But most expected that the Asian team journey would soon come to an end. Italian fans were already outraged by the referee's treatment of the team. And just 5 minutes into the match against South Korea, they had another reason to be furious. Byron Moreno awarded the host a penalty, but Gianluigi Buffon made a brilliant save from Jung-hwan strike. Overall, Italy didn't play the most entertaining football, but they knew their strengths and used them well. On the 18th minute, Totti delivered a perfect corner, and Cristian Vieri, dominating in the air, scored again at this tournament. With the lead secured, the Azzurri slowed down and started controlling the game. It was now up to South Korea to respond. But before the break, it was Italy who created the most dangerous moment. Damiano Tommasi made one of his signature light runs into the box, but couldn't beat the goalkeeper in one-on-one. The second half followed a similar pattern. Italy didn't want to take risks, and Hiddink's team couldn't launch a proper attack. It seemed only a miracle could save South Korea. And on the 88th minute, that miracle arrived. It wasn't even a mistake, just a moment of carelessness in Italy defense. Cristian Panucci failed to clear the ball inside his own box and gifted it to Ki-hyeon, who calmly placed it into the bottom corner. In extra time, Buffon made another save from a dangerous free kick. But then the focus shifted completely. On minute 105, Byron Moreno made what would be the first of several controversial decisions. During another Italian attack, Totti broke into the box and went down under pressure from a defender. Yes, the foul was debatable, but Francesco certainly didn't dive. Still, Byron Moreno showed him a second yellow. Italy were down to 10 men, but not out. Just minutes later, Vieri delivered a brilliant through ball by Tommasi, who rounded the keeper and scored. But instead of allowing the goal, Moreno called offside, even though replays showed it never existed. And remember, this was the era of the golden goal. That strike should have sent Italy to the quarterfinals. Instead, it was South Korea who advanced. Just minutes before the end of extra time, Jung-hwan rose above everyone and beat Buffon with a header, completing the biggest shock of the tournament. Ironically, he was playing for an Italian club, but after that goal, he was forced to leave Italian football for good. Those were the furious words of Luciano Gaucci, president of Perugia. The worst referee in history, La Gazzetta dello Sport didn't hold back. Words like disgrace and robbery echoed across Italy. Trapattoni openly claimed there was a conspiracy to keep the host nation in the tournament at any cost. Despite the painful exit, Italian fans welcomed the team home with warmth. For them, the villain wasn't the players, it was the referee. In Ecuador, Byron Moreno couldn't escape the spotlight easier. Italian media kept watching him closely. In one domestic match, he added 6 minutes of stoppage time, but the game went for 13. And during this time, one of the teams scored 2 goals and pulled out the win. But the more scandalous chapter had nothing to do with football. In 2010, Moreno was arrested in JFK airport, caught smuggling 6 kilograms of heroin. He was sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. 6 kilos of drugs? Buffon replied. He had them back in 2002. Not in his underwear, but in his body. He was the man who stole the dream of one of the most talented squads in the nation's history. But fortunately, the core of that team remained, and under the new coach and Marcello Lippi, the Azzurri returned to the World Cup and became champions. But that's another story.